Greetings, strangers. I'm Britt,
And I'm Dee.
and welcome to another episode of It's a Strange World After All. A podcast where we discuss true crime cases, the supernatural, urban legends, conspiracy theories, and all of the things that keep the world strange. And on today's episode, if you haven't noticed, we do have a guest. Guest, reveal yourself. Drum roll. You gotta show yourself. We have the owner of she's the owner of Leanos, what is it, beauty boutique, not to be confused with booty boutique.
Although I
Beauty
do got a cute
boutique.
booty. Just kidding.
I mean, hey, sell yourself. She's single.
Okay,
I don't know if
so
she's ready to mingle,
I
but
don't know about the mingle part, but I am single. Hi, my name's Maria. I am CEO and owner of Lanos Beauty Boutique, also known as your witchy western beauty shop. And I do lash extensions and hair and makeup too on the side. Soon,
yes,
you will be seeing gardening content. Not like gardening, but like potatoes and carrots and stuff.
we like gardening content too. We like 420
Yeah.
content too. That's fine.
Well, I
we
mean,
would
I'm
appreciate
doing
it.
both, because I gotta have an activity while I'm doing my activity,
Exactly.
There you go.
And I'm repping.
That's mine.
This is from her. This is hers.
Oh, okay.
I just sell a bunch of cute little t-shirts because that's what I'm about.
Okay. In today's episode, we have part 2 of sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is a temporary state of paralysis that occurs when a person is falling asleep or waking up. It is characterized by the inability to move or speak despite being fully conscious.
Yes, and if you haven't already listened to, it's not labeled as part 1. I believe that it's like labeled as Strange Shorts, right? Strange Shorts.
Yeah.
Sleep paralysis. That was with Raven Ariel, where we dove into the same thing, sleep paralysis. We also talked about astral projection, that episode too, because we talked about the theory of it being. What did you say? You said, going into another dimension. Yeah, you mentioned it on that episode that it could be like shifting through another dimension.
Oh, yeah. That episode was so long ago. How long ago was that? That was...
Girl, I think it was like season 2, season 1. It's like 2021. This is a while ago. But yes, go back and listen to that episode and then join us for part 2. So, Maria, we were talking the other day, and you had shared what happened to you, and I wanted you to share that with our listeners. So, if you want to give us a detailed.
This one time in band camp, no, but for real, this one time when I was like probably we were in college. I don't know. Maybe like 20? I want to say 19. I want to say this was shortly after I broke up with old dude from Mexico and was like kind of figuring myself out because I was living with my brother at the time and my brother had a roommate. This was before I became a mother. Oh right, because I'm a mom too, right? I'm a mother.
She's a mother.
Anywho, I was asleep in my room, me a little tiny, asleep in my king size bed, falling asleep when all of a sudden I like feel somebody like staring at me, and as like in my sleep, I'm like dead sleep, and I feel somebody like staring at me, and I open my eyes and there's like literally like a black figure, but I can see like hands coming at me, and I literally scream like a gut-wrenching scream and like cover myself with the blanket. Mind you, this entire time I thought I was dreaming. Come to find out that the next morning my brother was like, "Hey, you cool?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" And he was like, "You definitely screamed really loud last night, and I was gonna go in and check on you, but then you didn't scream again, so I figured you just went back to sleep." And I was like, "I thought that was a dream. I thought I dreamt that scream." So,
Can I just say it took everything in me when you said it was a black figure to be like, why it's gotta be black?
well, in my defense, it was dark. I can't see at night.
No, I'm
But I
messing with
could
you.
tell that there was an object being standing over me, like kind of wanting to like come after me, like ooga ooga. But also, I was discussing with my lash client earlier today about how it was really funny because I just finished watching Salem. I think it's on Hulu. It's the show about the witches in Salem, and like these witches turn into hags, and like they turn into hags because they're basically like working with the devil, and so like that's their punishment because they're doing like dark and evil magic per se, you know, allegedly. And also the other day on my TikTok, a girl that I follow who has a like a witchery shop and stuff like that, she would kind of comes across and gives you like witch tips and protection. And she was like, if you are ever sleeping and you feel like a heavy pressure on your chest, or you just like feel like all of a sudden you can't breathe, and like you happen to wake up, it's and like you don't see anything there, but you still feel like a remnants of that pressure on your chest, it's because there was a hag that was on top of you trying to reach at you. And it just kind of made me circle back to like when that happened, and it was like, dang, that's crazy. It's like that hag or whatever that being was possibly trying to like come after me at that time in my life, and whatever protection my grandma or whoever had bestowed on me was like actually working, that brought me to wake up to like cover myself so that she, whatever that thing was, wasn't able to come at me. And I was like, wild, wild. I think that's the only story I have in regards to like sleep
Yeah.
paralysis in regards to where I can remember. But it's funny because like the more people go into like their spiritual journey, the more they like circle back on like things into their life, and they're like, dang, that could have meant this, or like, oh my gosh, maybe that's
Yeah.
why this is was happening. And it kind of like goes back to like even like spooky stuff. Like if spooky stuff was happening to you, it could be that like whatever entities were like trying to come at you at that time is what was going on around you, but not specifically to you, right? Because they say that like
Yeah.
when somebody is trying to hex you, like the hexes generally work on like electronics or like things around you before it actually comes to you directly, if like your protection is working like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned, so you did mention a boo hag the when we spoke the last time, or yeah, like a hag. And which is funny because we've talked, well, we didn't talk about it. We posted something about a boo hag on our Instagram before. So
Oh yeah, we did. It's so a buhag is a supernatural creature from Gullah folklore that uses witchcraft to steal energy from sleeping people. Buhags are said to be a cross between a vampire and a sleep paralysis demon. Buhags are skinless monsters with red muscles and blue veins. They have eyes that reflect light like a cat's. They sometimes have flowing white hair, and they use witchcraft and evil magic to cause havoc on innocent people. And again, they're different throughout different cultures. So,
I mean, at the time
yeah.
I was a little innocent, so I could see why they were coming
good
after
night. Good night. Stop lying to the people.
me.
With okay, but with boo hags
Hilarious.
though, could it be some like that someone summons a boo hag on you, or do they just they are just
It
looking
could
for
be.
I,
these people?
I would think that would be more like a astral projection kind of thing, because like in the show that I was watching, the girl was like in a seance per se in front of like a mirror, and she was astral projecting her true self in front of whoever she was trying to like control or something. So like maybe it could kind of all tie back together in regards to like we're all part of the earth. But no, but for real though, like maybe it could be somebody like astral projecting themselves into being like an energy vampire type hag to come after that person because they know that they have like really good energy and they're just trying to like You know, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and then
Go
they're
ahead.
different. Each culture, they're different. So it could be a number of things. So,
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, La Llorona stemmed from a woman who lost her children, and she's known in folklore as like all these things, but she's originally known as like just a grieving mother.
yeah.
So I am gonna tell my story of something that had recently happened to me. But when you said that, it made me think of it was a 420 thought. I don't care. It was still a good thought. So I was having a conversation with someone and we were talking about like the concept of like ghosts and how like energy cannot be discarded or destroyed. So essentially any thought that has ever been thought is still in our universe. Any person that was ever living, their energy does not dissipate when they die, it still exists. So like the concept of like, let's say La Llorona, for instance, being that tortured soul that died, but now she's like tethered to the universe, so she's just looking for different like tortured souls to find, to like latch onto. Or like, let's just say, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, I think it's Fallen, because that's like the time with Denzel Washington and John Goodman. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
where the demon is like jumping from person to person. So it's like, even if you have someone who was like a serial killer and people are like, no, I know this person, I could never imagine that this person would have done that. In those instances, maybe someone's energy from someone who was a serial killer latched onto that person and it caused that person to do that. I don't know why you saying that made me think that.
That's funny that piggybacking, but also 420 because you know.
You have the best thoughts. You just have the best thoughts.
I also recently rewatched Sleepy Hollow, which is about a headless horseman who happened to be a rebel Britishman who left the Redcoats to come join the American Revolution, but really they're fighting demons who are trying to control the earth. Anyway, in this specific episode, they're basically going around haunting a weeping widow. Like she's going and like finding sad people and she's like taking them into the river and like basically making this like folklore fairy tale of like a scary person that happened to be in that town that they live in come to for like life on a person that actually happened to be sad at the time. Does that make sense? And it's funny
Yeah,
because
it's like
Yeah.
law of attraction.
and it's funny because
Yeah.
like it all kind of like it wasn't just that one story because there was also like the Peter Piper one, the Pay the Piper one where he like plays the
Oh,
piper
the
and
Pied Piper.
The Pied
yes,
Piper, Peter
yes,
Piper.
and it
Yeah.
also
What'd he
and
do? Then he picked the peck.
no, I think that's a different pickled piper person. But
No,
this
yeah,
piper
the
guy,
Pied
like
Piper.
if he plays his piper, he can mind control people around. And they say that allegedly back in the day there was a piper guy controlling an undead army. So in this show, supposedly. But anyway, that
Shameless plug.
I was
Pied
gonna
Piper
say
episode.
we
Sorry, we
do
have a
have an
Pied Piper
episode
episode.
if
The
y'all want to
Pied
learn
Piper of
more,
Hamlin.
watch
Yes, Pied
about
Piper of
that.
about
Hamlin.
R.
But
Kelly.
anyway, this was kind of reliving itself in modern time in this show with this guy who was a musician was like playing his violin and his music whatever instrument he had was awakening this other instrument that made him turn into the piper at the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like
Mm-hmm.
jumping spirits into like manifesting themselves from like past stories.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this, she is outside the ghetto. She is outside. If you're listening to this and not watching this, she's outside. So you're going to hear nature sounds and things like a car driving aggressively. But okay. This happened to me, I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was sleep paralysis, but it was also me lucid dreaming, which I would just like to say I am on a tea break. I don't know if this part gonna make the episode, but I am on a tea break, and I feel like my dreams are already pretty vivid. But ever since that, my dreams have been like crazy vivid. Like where if I'm eating food, I can taste, smell, to like all of my senses have been involved in my dreams. But this particular night. So I usually fall asleep listening to like sleep meditation. So like affirmations and positive things like that. I in my dream, I think I had woken up from another dream. So I thought that I was awake. But I realized that the room that I was in was not my room. It was like a hotel room. There were like two queen beds. The room was completely dark. And again, I saw a shadow figure standing above me, but I know that I was not awake. I realized that I was dreaming. I remember like the person, I'm pretty sure it was a man, and he was saying things like, "You did this to me, this is your fault," like, and he started choking me, and like I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm about to die." Like I could physically feel his hands around my neck. I was trying to catch my breath. I couldn't breathe. I ended up um like having to fight for my life. I ended up like getting him off me, ultimately like fighting him off of me. And then I just remember I just started wailing, like fighting so hard and being like, "It's not my fault." Like, what? Why are you laughing?
I was gonna say, are you sure that wasn't Freddy Krueger?
Girl,
Or
it didn't look like no damn Freddy Krueger, because if it was Freddy Krueger, me and
okay.
him, we could have made something shake a little bit, a little bit. I don't mind Freddy Krueger. No, it was not Freddy Krueger. I don't know who he
Okay.
was. I just remember he was at least a good six. Okay, circling back, we'll circle back. He was at least a good 6'3", maybe, or over 6 foot. He was just encased in darkness, so I don't know what he looked like. I just know, I just remember fighting for my life, and then there was blood everywhere. To note, the whole time I could hear on like the radio, I could hear a podcast playing. I recognized the voices, and I was like, "That's girl, that's scary," playing in the background. And I was like, "Why is this Girl That's Scary podcast episode playing while I'm fighting for my freaking life?" I finally did. I think what I did was like, maybe I did wiggle my finger, like tried to wiggle my fingers, because I remember you saying that from that first sleep paralysis episode that we did. And I just remember being like, "No, wake up, wake up, wake up." I finally like got myself to wake up. I realized that I was not breathing. Like, so I take a big gasp of air. I like calm myself down. It's roughly about 2:45 in the morning. I even journaled it because I'm taking note of the time, and I journaled it. How about I realized that my sleep meditation had stopped playing, and that Girl That's Scary was playing, and it was a Mr. Crockett episode. And I've never seen that. I had to look up the synopsis to be like, okay, is this related to the dream that I was having? I just know that I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe, but I know that I was asleep. So it wasn't a situation where I was in my room and I saw a creature. I only saw what was in my dream. One of my best friends noted, no shade to him, that it could have been though like my ex like pulling on my energy, or like his, like I don't know, like his emotions being, I guess, still hurt, or I don't know what she like, but what she was saying I guess made sense. So like that he was physically pulling me, or like physically like killing me in my dream. It was terrifying though, y'all. I woke up, I was like, it took me about a good hour or so to get back to sleep, and I had to journal it. I was like, I don't know what this means. I feel like I almost died, and I know that it was sleep paralysis.
That's interesting.
Very.
Wild.
I haven't experienced it. I don't even want to say that because then tonight.
You gonna experience it.
But I have not experienced it in a long time. So I was listening to this one podcast. They were talking about mirrors being portals, and just how basically you should never have a mirror facing your bed. And the lady mentioned that she had her bedroom set, the dresser, it was the one with the mirror attached to it. And that's one like how I had. So I got rid of it years ago. I got rid of the mirror part, just the mirror, not the dresser. And I got rid of it because I felt like I was seeing things in the mirror, and I could have been could have been smoking a little
It's
bit, could have had an edible,
drugs.
I
It
don't
was
know.
drugs. What?
But no, this would be like at night because it was at the intro, and you remember we all saw that shadow figure, and I felt
Girl.
like I was seeing it in the mirror, and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get rid of this, and which I didn't at the time. I still had it when we moved to La Costa, and that was the one night I mentioned where it kept happening to the point where I didn't go to sleep because I felt like, yeah. So I noticed once I actually did get rid of it, I haven't experienced it as much. So I'm like,
Good for
I'm
you.
wondering if there's some kind of link
Well,
there
they
with
do
mirrors
say
being a portal.
you're supposed
Maybe.
to lock your mirrors around the times of like lunar
Yeah.
eclipses, like new moons. You're supposed to like cleanse your mirrors because they do say that like they are portals, and if you do sleep with a mirror like in front of your room or like in your bedroom, like to either cover it before you go to bed or to make sure that you put your sigil and like lock it, so the witches say, because they are portals. And like I would only experience that sleep paralysis when there was a mirror like directly in front of my bed, now that I think about it, because I haven't ever experienced
Yeah.
anything like that anymore. But I don't sleep with a mirror like directly in my room. I only have like my vanity mirror, and I make sure that it's always faced up and not facing me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say.
Because
I have a mirror in my room, but it does not face the bed. Like it's in front of the bed, but it's facing like my closet.
yeah. And mine for years would always be directly in front of my bed because I used to put my TV on it. So it would be my TV, and then behind the TV, it would be the mirror.
Oh, I was
And it
gonna say
was
something.
what?
Why you got the mirror facing the bed, D? No,
That's
but
the
no,
only place I can
no,
put
I'm
it
messing
because
with
that's where I
you.
will put my
So
TV.
say, D, you want to say something? You want to tell the people something? No, I get
Anyway,
it. We
but
listen,
no,
we don't
I
judge.
noticed. No, I noticed once I got rid of the mirror, it pretty much it didn't stop happening, but it's not as much as it used to be. Like I
Okay.
think, well, now that I think about it, I don't think I've experienced it since I got rid of the mirror.
See,
So
yeah, I don't know. It had honestly been a while since I'd experienced sleep paralysis. That's why I was like, bro, this is crazy. The lucid dreaming thing, nah, I definitely have experienced, but that I do listen to like one of my meditations is to astral project because I promise you, y'all look out for me. I'm trying to visit everybody. I'm trying to astral project. So hide your mirrors, hide your phones. You if you see me in your dream, it worked. I'm in that thing.
Yes.
Okay, so the exact cause of sleep paralysis is technically unknown, but it is believed to be related to a disruption in a sleep cycle, like your REM sleep cycle, which is like your deepest sleep. So think about it. If your REM is disrupted, that's, again, not to scare you, D, but that's the closest to death that you can get. So your body is essentially paralyzed in that REM sleep.
why you name me?
Cause last time you were like, I don't want to think about that. You were like, now I'm not gonna go to sleep.
So that's when like Freddy would attack, was when everybody was in their REM sleep, because
Yeah, yes.
he dying.
Cause yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
and if you think
deepest.
about it, like um, going back to Freddy Krueger, that was actually based on something that happened.
Yes.
So
It's
yeah, because they
wild.
were doing sleep studies on him and everything, and it was a child, and he
Hmm.
died in his sleep because he said there was a monster after him in his sleep, and he wouldn't go to sleep.
I just wanted to give the possible factors that may contribute to sleep paralysis is sleep deprivation, irregular sleep patterns, stress, narcolepsy, and some certain medications. And then if you do feel yourself, if it happens to you often, ways to combat sleep paralysis is just working on your sleep hygiene. So having like a regular schedule, being off your phone at least an hour before you go to bed, avoiding caffeine or alcohol right before bed, managing your stress and anxiety as well. And then if it's really bad, I guess some people really like suffer from frequent episodes. They also have like medicine that can be prescribed
Or
as
an
well.
activist. Oh, there was an episode because I also restarted watching the original Charmed. There was an episode in there where this like handicapped man was visiting these women's dreams and then like romancing them and then throwing them off buildings, which reminded me of you saying that this man was like trying to kill you, but you fought for your life and you didn't let him. Like, what if like somebody was like doing that and like you were able to like pop 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 whap 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 fuck them up, you know, and like because you are
Fuck up.
yeah
Sorry.
so like your spiritual journey has like grown so much that you're able to like recognize when that's happening because you're an avid adventurer of like, you know, lucid dreaming, so you're able to like catch yourself, aka like Insidious type shit, and like, you know, whap 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 whap, so you know,
Squabble up. Wop.
yeah,
Fuck them up.
that was literally
No, okay.
you.
No, okay, but literally, I see where you're going with that. I will say, because like when people talk about being hexed or like someone giving them like the ojo, I personally, this is not to toot my own horn, but I'm genuinely just like a kind person. I don't really like have like enemies. I don't think people are like threatened by me in any way. But I do think that oftentimes people are hexing people. Like on a subconscious level, like not doing it intentionally. Like let's say I'm scrolling on Instagram. I'm using Maria as an example. I see maybe you got a new car and I'm like, damn, I'm jealous. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm jealous of her. She has a new car. Or I'm jealous of her. She has a new relationship or she got a fatty. I don't know. And then, so therefore, now I've put that negativity out into the ethosphere and it finds its way to you and something happened. That's why I think that's another reason why Trish was like, nah, I feel like that was, you know, some one of your exes. And I said, girl, okay.
I mean, not a specific one, but maybe like one, or like maybe
We
just like
know.
an entity, and
We know.
entity like
We ain't
trying
gotta
to
go
come.
deep.
Shots
we know.
fired! Shots
We know who it is because
fired!
something had just happened, and that's okay. And I took the high road, and they probably was everything. That's okay, you know.
And that's not
I
on
got
you.
them up
That's
off
not
me.
your
Well,
journey.
I
That's
didn't know.
theirs.
I got them up off me.
I was gonna say
What
I
was you
didn't
gonna
know
say,
something happened, but I was just about to ask you,
girl?
do you think he was doing that intentionally or subconsciously?
No,
But I
I
didn't know
truly
something
think it was
happened.
subconsciously. I truly do
Oh,
think
okay.
that it was subconsciously. I think it was because also too, like y'all know, like the whole concept, like the whole concept of like detaching and like pulling your energy away from somebody. I feel like people when they're still attached to you, that they can feel that, and I feel like that this person felt that. Like I literally, physically, in real life, was like, no, I'm done. I need you to know that I'm done. And I think that this person was just like, okay, well, whatever, that's fine, but like really kind of truly felt hurt by it. Because even in the dream, the person kept saying, you did this, like, well, you did this to us, yeah. And I was just like, I didn't do anything.
No,
I
no,
didn't do
no.
anything.
In a way, you can say, and I did, what about it? Get the fuck off me.
Squabble.
That's not your problem. That's not your journey to go off. Stop
It's just
manifesting
not.
onto other people things that shouldn't even pertain to you.
Yeah.
Wah, wah,
And I
wah,
just
wah.
pray. I just pray. I live like in my journal, anytime I have like any altercations or anything, I truly just be like, I release this. Like, I pray this person knows that I love them and I release them. Like, back to the earth. You can have them. Take it.
Yeah, because it does no good to hold on to anything negative or to say anything negative, because what you put out is what you get back into
Ooh,
the universe.
baby. Law of attraction. All right.
True.
Anything else? Any final thoughts? Anything else?
I feel like this. I don't know if this is. I was just gonna say I feel like we should do another episode about like mirrors and portals and stuff like that.
Hell
Because
yeah, sign me up.
Yeah.
I feel like all of that
Oh,
stuff kind of goes hand in hand.
Yes, this was fun. Thank you, Maria.
pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Tell the people real quick where give your handles. You're more than welcome to give your handles, your social media handles, if you want.
I mean, I don't really post, but if you want to follow me, Instagram, I am at Living Maria. That's my personal. I think it's at living underscore Maria underscore, maybe.
I
I have
think
to
so.
look it up. And then TikTok, I think it's also the same. I'm starting a sourdough journey. Keep up with that. And then if you want to
Yeah.
follow my business, it is at Leano's Beauty Boutique, um, all across, except for TikTok, because I'm not creating a second account for that. It's too much work. But yeah, that's
All
it.
right. Well, thank you, ma'am. We will definitely have to do this
Thank you.
again. You are released. You can go ahead and you should have a little hang up button. Do you have a little hang up button?
I do got a little hang up button. Do I just push the little hang up button?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, bye. I love you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
That is all, folks, and thank you again, Maria. This is only the second time I think
Yes.
that we've done. Well, technically the third, but the one in Colorado with all of them got a little hectic. So
That was a mess.
yes, so this is technically officially the second time that we've done this, and yes, so thank you.
Yes. Please follow us on Instagram at It's a Strange World Podcast and TikTok at It's a Strange World After All. Also, if you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and like the show, please go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. And if you're feeling extra strange, please write a review. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe and comment and share.
Yes, all of the things, come and get strange with us. We would love to hear from you. What did you think of this week's episode? What do you think about sleep paralysis? What do you think about boo hags? Anything, the mirror portal thing. If you want to share your experience, please let us know. If you want to come on the show and share your experience, please definitely let us know. Send us your send us your feedback, episode suggestions, horror, thriller, slasher, and true crime movie or documentary review suggestions, or again, any inquiries about being a guest on the show. You can email those submissions to it's a strange world after all at gmail.com, or DM us on any other social media platforms previously mentioned.
Thank you for tuning into another episode of It's a Strange World After All.
And thank you as always for keeping it strange with us. We about to go eat because we starving. I'm surprised your stomach didn't growl.
Man, I was praying. I was like, Lord, please.
Ooh, every time
but it's weird because it's no, I was gonna say it's weird because my stomach only growls after I eat. Like if I'm hungry, it really doesn't growl like that.
Oh, and
so
that's probably because
most of the times when it's on here, it's right after I ate. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you as always for keeping it strange with us. We love you guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay.